the first book that I read during quarantine was War Storm by Victoria. I'm going to say her last name wrong, probably. Victoria Aveyard. It is a part of the Red Queen series. This series is so good. You have to read it. It's so good.
Is that historical fiction?
No, it's not. No. It's basically about, it's set in a world where people have like special powers, essentially. So there are people who can control metal, people who can control lightning, people who can control water, like all of the elements.
Right.
And there are humans who don't have any powers, and they are basically servants, people who do all the dirty work. And then the people who have powers run stuff. And humans aren't supposed to have powers, right? But Mar does, the main character. She is able to, so at the beginning of the story, Mar, actually, I'm not going to get into it because it's too much. So I'm just going to cut this out. Because the whole story, this is like the fourth and final book. It is just, it's just too much. So basically, just really read it. It's really good. Yeah, it's a really good series. Basically, she gets powers. Humans are not supposed to get powers, and she starts messing stuff up. And the fourth book, she basically brings down the entire hierarchy, essentially. So it's a really good wrap up. I think this is the last book. It was a great book. I loved it. It was really long, but it was worth it. The ending was fantastic. So another book that I read was Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. This is a romance book. It's pretty good. It's about a girl who she's basically obsessed with this guy that she sees in the subway all the time. He's a singer, and they end up getting married for him to stay in the country. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole drama. Basically, they fall in love. It's a good story. It's really random, but I really liked it. They end up, at first, they didn't really like each other. It's kind of like weird because they have to move in. And because he is not from America, I think he's from either Ireland or Scotland, maybe. But of course, like, they have to be interviewed and stuff to make sure that their marriage is legit. So they have to learn like everything about each other in a shorter period of time. I think it's like a couple weeks or like a month. But yeah, it's a pretty good book. They end up falling in love at the end. So that was a really good read, really easy read. Another one that I read was The Unhoneymooners. This is another romance novel. I've been reading a lot of romance novels. But you know what?
I'm not sure.
I feel that a lot of the books that we used to read in like high school and stuff, they were romance novels. Like all YA novels are like almost romance. No, you don't think so?
Not all YA novels are romance novels. You can find ones that are like off. You know what I mean?
Some of
them got a little romance in there, but
like the Natural series that I was talking about. That's not romance at all. That's like it's just like doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom.
But it's like bomb, like the mystery's bomb.
I was about to say there's some romance in there though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like
there's some romance, but it's not like romance heavy. It's not like a, you know.
Yeah.
Same with Wicked Lovely. There's some romance in there, but at the same time, you're kind of focused on that monarch, the fairy monarch, and all of that. You're not focused on the romance, which I'm glad.
That's true. There's always a romance element. Always.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we love love.
We do love love.
I ain't mad at it.
Facts, yeah. So the other book that I read was The Unhoneymooners, again by Christina Lauren. I was on like a Christina Lauren binge. They have mad books, but The Unhoneymooners was one of the best books that I've read so far by Christina Lauren. It's about these two individuals. The guy main character's brother is getting married to the girl's main character's sister. If that makes sense. So I guess they are, what would they be? Like brother and sister-in-law?
So say that again?
So
yeah, they'd be in-laws, right?
Yeah, they'd be in-laws. So the guy main character, his brother is getting married to the girl main character's sister.
Yeah, they'd be in-laws.
So they're in-laws.
They'd be in-laws, right? Okay. So they basically hate each other for some random reason, and it's that you kind of figure out why at the end of the book, because the brother who's getting married is basically trash. He's trash. Spoiler alert, he's trash. And so they end up the main character's siblings are getting married, right? And the food that was served at their wedding was bad. Like it was spoiled. They did like some seafood stuff and everybody got sick, like vomiting, diarrhea.
Oh my God.
It was bad.
Memorable moment.
So so they got food poisoning, so they weren't able to go on their honeymoon. So they go for them.
Oh.
And so
that's cute.
Yeah.
That is
I want to read that. So when we list it under the video, I'm going to make sure to write it down because I want to read that. That's cute.
Yeah. So on the honeymoon, they fall in love and they realize why they hated each other. And it wasn't even because
all of that
of them. It was because of the stupid brother who's an a-hole.
So he was like cheating, like doing the most?
Dad always gets it, yes. Essentially.
Yes.
Wasn't trying to give it up away, but,
we be doing this, Jazz. We be doing this.
Yeah, he was definitely cheating, and it was sad, but
that's terrible.
It ended well, but yeah, that was to say. I read Roomies by Christina Lauren. It was pretty good. I would definitely recommend it. So the other series that I read was Renegades by Marissa Mayer. This book was really good. It was basically set in a world where people have superpowers. I feel like there's a trend here that I like.
I love superheroes. I love superheroes.
Word.
Yeah.
I was about to say the first book you mentioned with superheroes. I'm about to read that. That sounds dope.
Right. It does sound real good.
So I'm probably gonna read this one too.
So this book is really good. The main character is actually the bad guy.
I like that.
Yes. So her family was actually killed. You find out her family was killed at the beginning of the first book. We don't know who killed them, but it was by a rival gang. And she thinks that she blames the superheroes in the story. She blames them because they said that they would come and protect her family and save her family if anything like went awry, and that did not happen. She saw her whole family get killed in front of her. She was like 7. So she is out to get the superheroes, the people in charge. And it's really good. And she goes undercover. In the first book, she goes undercover and joins the Renegades. That's the good guys in the book. And the second book is a continuation. So she's plotting to basically kill the leader of the Renegades. I have not finished the second book yet, but I'm very close to finishing it, and it's really good. So I would definitely.
And this is on O. You're listening to it, or reading it.
I'm listening to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really good. The second one was really good. The first one was great. The second one's really good. And then they have a third one called Supernova. That is the newest one. And so I'm excited to finish the second one and start the third one. What else? I also read A Throne for Sisters. I liked it. They do have some random things that really don't need to be in there.
Thank you.
As Mark said. And also the progression of the book is just way too fast for me. Like, Sis is able to get into the palace just by...
No, that was crazy. That was like 5 minutes.
I don't get it. And the prince fell in love with her.
Like, oh my God, and that was another 5 minutes. Honestly, the first 20 minutes of the book, because I read the first book on audiobook and then the rest in ebook because it was cheaper. But the first 20 minutes of the book, you're like, what?
But you know what? The end of the first book, it was interesting. The ending of the first book was very interesting and intriguing, and I would probably read the second book. The first book was actually free. So that's why I initially read it. And maybe one day I'll read the second book.
I'll try and send you the second book to try and save you some money.
Okay.
But I have the second, the third, and I think the fourth. Send you the other books. I've read them. Like I said, I didn't need to know about the maiden in the corridors part of the story. Mm-hmm. Because it does get ridiculous after a while. Like, you're like, really? But it is still good.
Yeah. It does sound good at the end. I was like, oh, okay. I can get behind this, even though the progression of the book was really, really quick and it didn't really make sense. But yeah. I'd rather
I feel the reason why they did that is because there's so much content to the characters. They wanted to get that little bit out of there because the younger sister, she's badass. Like,
she is.
She's badass. So like, it gets crazy. You'll like it.
It's good.
I'm gonna try and send it to you. I'll figure it
out. The other book that I read was Persuasion, the same book that Gab mentioned. Is it the second book? That's the first book.
No, that's the second one. I just checked. I was like, wait a minute, did I read them out of order?
Is Trickery the first one then?
So Trickery
the first one.
Oh no.
I read. You didn't read the first one because the Trickery is the first one.
Yeah, I read that one.
You read? Okay, you did.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I thought.
I was gonna do a side note. You could read these out of order and it still makes sense.
It wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't.
So the first book, so I did read Trickery. I did download Persuasion for kicks. And I will tell. So the first one, Trickery.
Just break my whole heart.
I read the reviews and I knew that there was some sort of octagon thing going on here. There's like 4 guys and 1 girl. I don't know what shape that is, but it's a pentagon.
Pentagon. I was like, it's 5 deaths.
It's a pentagon, okay? A pentagon of love.
Geometry.
Of love. I failed that.
Pentagon of love.
Yes.
And I don't know. So I like the book. I like the story of the book. But Sis is mad clumsy. And which is fine. It's fine. The issue that I have with it is that every time she falls or does something, she reveals a part of her body. Like, she'll trip and fall and her like dress will fly up and everyone will see her butt. Like, what is that? Every time. Or she'll flash people. Like, it's so random.
That's just the writer's way of showing how graceless she is, because she is supposed to be like the most. Like, her whole character, when you think about it, it's like the most. Like, she's just Willa in a whole neat package is the most. She is.
True. Very true. That's one of the things that just annoys me a little. Like if the author would just tone it down to maybe like one nip slip per chapter or every other chapter, then I'd be gung ho for this book. But I got the second book, so that shows you that I enjoy the storyline.
It shows you that. Well, it does show you that
Yes.
something's going on.
Yeah.
Despite the nip slips.
Oh my god, I'm done.
Several nip slips in several chapters. But anywho,
Oh, like slips or nothing? Just
none.
strictly,
None but
just strictly boobs and
Yep.
We're doing the most.
The girl never wears a secure bra. Is what you're saying.
I don't think they
That's
own
the thing.
bra,
I don't
TBH.
have them. Like,
She's basically a servant who's wearing clothes she finds or clothes that people give her. So it's a whole weird situation. That's the only iffy thing about it. Everything else I like. So hopefully it gets toned down, and then Gab kind of revealed it for me that it's like the reverse harm thing. And I was thinking that she was gonna choose.
no, it says it. Like, it'll say it. Like, if you, well, because on Kindle, they kind of say it to you. And, like, in the reviews, people, like, say it. But, yeah, no, it's
So
a
like,
like, I didn't realize.
so they never pick someone. Like, that's frustrating. Like, I'm not.
Well, I've read it where one, like, they did choose, but then she felt, like, so bad about it, she went back and was like, no, I can't. Like, it was, like, I didn't really care for the book because I was mad she chose in the first place, because I feel like if you're going to do that, you can't. That's the whole point of it. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
so I read it with the intention that she wasn't, and then I found out that she did, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I want a book two. And then they said, well, she's going to go back. I was like, okay, bet.
Like, you were
like it was
dead.
so real that we were going to the midnight premieres. Like, come on,
I went to midnight premieres because I had no life, and you guys were my friends.
you had a life and you had every
And I
choice to
was
go.
hoping-
You decided to
And I
go.
was hoping you guys would come with me to the Harry Potter midnight premieres. So it was a give and take relationship.
I don't remember. Did I ever go to a Harry Potter premiere?
No, you didn't. Gabby did though.
I was gonna say I don't think I did.
I did get Gabby to go.
And I was down for these midnight premieres. I don't know why
You was
They were like the best.
waking up.
my schedule was made for that.
It was weird because you know why? We would come to
Word.
school the next day and be like, yeah, I already saw that. It was mad good. I know the whole, I saw it.
And we were mad hype. Like,
Like,
Midnight premiere. We did. Yo.
Yo, I saw it last
I
night.
already saw that. It was that good. Do it again.
Yo, make no.
Just got me dead.
No, but we would. We'd be like, yeah, I saw it last night. It was really good. We didn't
And
say
you know what else? We would
you know what's
walk
kind of crazy
into
though?
class tired as hell as well.
Word.
back.
Sorry.
We get out like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, or later, like 2:30, because it would never start.
You know what's kind of you know what's kind of crazy? Like, kind of jumping back to the reverse harm thing. I remember when I first started the book, Gabby was talking about the Academy, and I started it and I was reading it, and I was so confused because I didn't know what was going on. I was like, wait a minute. Because I wasn't used to reading that kind of book. So I was like, something's going on here. I don't really know what it is. And then Gabby finally told me, like, no, this is a reverse harm. And I'm like, what is that? Because I was just confused, and then I just didn't care for it. I was like, I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. But, but that's why it was funny. All right.
Those books are hard for me to read.
I think
It was very hard to read because I just I couldn't do it. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, like I can barely deal with a character like in Twilight. I can barely deal with a character who is trying to pick between two guys, let alone messing with like 10 guys. That shit's stressful.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I think bothers me is that there are, and not that there would never be two options, because I feel a lot of the time there are multiple options. I feel like you should always have multiple options, but that is realistic. Like it's okay to,
But yeah,
You better
Having
cut that
potential.
out or
Having
tell Malik
potential.
not to watch this video.
what?
I said you either cut that out or tell Malik not to watch this video.
No, I'm not saying that.
even though she doesn't mean personally.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're a single person, you may have multiple options.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily for like what's the word? Like just relationships. You may have options for relationships.
Right. Like
Yeah,
with
potential.
online dating, you're not talking to just one person. You're talking to how many other dudes. I
Yeah.
almost said a bad
How many
word.
dudes are you talking to?
I didn't say personally me. I said
I didn't say personally either.
And I think I think I'm so used to it, and the reason why I could tell like from jump when Daphne was telling me like how it was gonna go, I could kind of tell when I read it, is there's like a format to like reverse harm that you can just, it leaves it like open.
So when I read a book and there's a love triangle, I don't like it. I think that's just how, I just don't like love triangles. I don't like them.
I don't either.
Somebody
don't either.
always gets the short end of the stick, and
Yeah.
she never chooses not necessarily the right one, but I always root for the underdog. I
Always.
don't know why. And she never chooses the guy that I want.
it says a lot about your personality, hopeless romantic over there.
Right. I agree. I don't like that either. And that's why I think I don't like romances.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't know why. And I feel like I'm a hopeless romantic. I really do feel like I love but I don't like that manufactured romance novel. It's just so fake and so dry. It's not passionate. It's not authentic. It's not real. And I think that's why I'm not a big fan of a lot of romances.
Yes. But you know what? All of the romance novels that I've read don't have a love triangle. It's like real life.
It's just a bomb love story.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like you meet somebody, you fall in love, and that's it. There are some obstacles, but it's usually not, oh, there's two guys that are vying for my love at the same exact time, and I don't know who I should choose.
Drama.
It's just the one guy, you know?
I can't.
I don't know.
I agree.
I agree.
So I got two more books I'll mention. The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test by Helen Huang. These books.
I feel like we've all done the same thing when we like talked about our lists. Like we were like,
It's like,
right?
It hit the spot.
It's just so good. It's so good. The Kiss Quotient, the main character has autism, which is very interesting. And you see how she builds her relationship with a guy that they're not necessarily in a relationship, and you see how that relationship builds. That's really interesting. And The Bride Test also features an autistic main character as well. But basically the main character comes to America to basically marry Kai, who is the autistic character in the book. And she doesn't know he's autistic, and she has to essentially make him fall in love with her. And his mom actually cut them off. So it's a very odd book, but it's actually based on a real life experience. I believe it is the author's parents' story. So it's really interesting, and I really liked it. And both of the books, they connect. They're cousins. The character in The Kiss Quotient and a character in The Bride Test are related. So you see a little bit of overlap, which is really cool. And I really liked both of the books. And she's coming out with a third one, and I can't wait.
So if on your list of books, each of you, if there was one in particular that you're like, okay, this is the book to read during quarantine, since we're going to be quarantined till the end of the year at least, what's the one book?
So I'm gonna go with the series. It's called it's No One Lives Twice, and it's the Lexi Carmichael series. And I gotta be honest, like, she is so cute and it's so funny and she's so nerdy, but she always finds herself in these dangerous positions, and she does everything she can to get herself out of these situations. And there's like about 7 or 8 books in the series right now, and I highly recommend that series. So if you're locked down and you don't have nothing else to read and you haven't read Lexi Carmichael, read it, because she's mad cute and it's funny and there's drama, there's mystery, and every book just gets better and better. So I recommend that. The first book is No One Lives Twice, and the author is Julie Moffat.
I think
Gab's looking through her list. That's why I'll give her a
5 million books. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed the Red Queen series. I believe it's 4 books. The third one was a little lengthy. It was a little hard to get through. But honestly, the storyline is so good. I would reread that series right now. It has like the fantasy aspect. It's kind of like dystopian as well, which I kind of like. It has a romance. It has betrayal. It has action, fighting, war, love, passion, death. Read it.
She be having me dead.
It's called Whiskey Rebellion. And I think I talked about this before, but it's a really good series. And like, it's funny.
That's a good one.
The main character is funny. Daphne, like, I got a shout out to Daphne because Daphne put me on low key, and I like zoomed through this series. I don't really remember like the detail because it's been a while, but like, it's the best. What she goes through, the stuff that happens, like, she has a string of bad luck, but she's so like funny, and she just like gets it together and stumbles onto like this whole other job as a PI, and I don't know how she like survives it with her personality and her like, I don't know, clumsy, goofy inclination. Like, it shouldn't make sense, but it's the best. Read it. I recommend it.
For me, I would say the Wicked Lovely series. I guess reading it now as an adult kind of changed my perspective on it a lot. It's kind of like Jasmine. There's love, there's action, there's fighting, there's this, there's that. There's so much in that series that keeps you pulled in. And the books are they're not, I guess they're connected, but they're not the same story. They're not the same 2 main characters. You know what I mean? So it's like reading a different series each time you pick up a different book in the series. So it keeps you interested. It keeps you feeling like, oh, this is fresh. This is something new. This is a whole different storyline now, you know? So I would say that series. It really hit as an adult for some reason, which is weird because it is young adult. So it hit though.
Spin the
dun, dun, dun. We're spinning the wheel. Wheel of Fortune. Oh no, that's
So if you're wondering what they're talking about, we are going to be spinning the wheel to discover our next book review based on the genre. So Jasmine, spin it for us.
Got it now?
Yes, I'm ready.
Daphne's genre.
Yay!
Oh my god, so lucky.
Yes.
Young
That's
adult.
perfect.
Hook me
That's
up, girl.
perfect. I'm gonna hook you up.
girl.
I got you.
Hook me up.
Okay. All right. So who's next? Oh, Rourke.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I'll pick for Rourke.
Okay. It's Rourke's genre.
This is nerve wracking.
I really hope you get some thrillers because I got some thrillers for your ass. Oh no!
I'm fine with self-help, okay? I'm okay with that. I was just dreading romance. I don't know why. So
Actually, I got a couple. I got a couple that I wanted to read myself. So you know what? We got this.
all right, we got this.
Ain't nobody got this historical fiction.
Can you
No.
guys?
Dreading romance. So I'm really glad it's self-help and not romance.
Gab. All right, Gab.
Jazz is picking for you.
And then she's gonna pick for you.
Pray for me.
It's Gabby genre.
Oh!
That's so perfect.
Oh, I know she's hyped right now.
Oh, I'm
She's
hella hyped.
definitely hyped right now.
Historical
That is
fiction.
so
is
perfect.
there. Yo.
I know she is hella hyped right now.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Jazz.
Thank the creator.
I hope I don't get horror.
No, get horror. We love horror.
You know she's
Girl.
terrified of stuff like that, right?
Yes. Some horror.
My genre.
Oh my god.
Oh, all right.
Dope.
Now watch you guys literally like
Pick the book.
recommend the same book.
No.
They're gonna recommend the same book.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited though, because like
I'm excited.
young adult for Daphne. I'm gonna have to narrow down this list real hard.
Private.
Add some
So,
bomb like add some like
No, I'm
murder-
not gonna put private because I want Daphne to pick up that book on her damn own. Okay.
my damn own. I got
The
you.
baby
I got
too.
you.
I don't know how far I'm gonna go into this fantasy. Like I gotta go like Jasmine, like what are we doing? We doing
I know that's bomb.
we're doing like well
That's dope.
elements. We got this. We got this.
I think that says
feel
a
like
lot about my life,
I
though.
feel
I
like I got
self-help.
off easy because I feel like with the self help, like the self help is gonna be kind of like, you know.
No, I said I feel like that says a lot about my life because I got self-help. Is God trying to say something?
OMG.
All right, sir. Thank you. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun, right, Leilani?
Yeah. No.
Well, that's a wrap, ladies, and thank you guys for tuning in. Peace. Good night.
Yay. Good night.
This is